So in our latest story is that the Supreme Court in the UK has declared the UK-Rwanda migrant deal unlawful, illegal, and that is this latest story. And the people behind this are the British Prime Minister himself is the son of a migrant. The Minister of the Home Secretary or the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the UK, or the Interior Minister, sorry, there is also the daughter of a migrant. They are Indian migrants. The British Prime Minister parents were in Kenya. They are the Kenyan Indians. And they left Kenya in the 1970s. They went to the UK. So he's the son of a migrant, an asylum seeker. The same applies to the lady who is now the minister in charge of that program. She's also the daughter of migrants. But they don't have a problem with the Indian migrants. The issue is with the African migrants. And that's where the problem is. So according to the story here, is that the deal, and this is how we got here, the deal was to ensure that close to 46,000 African migrants or asylum seekers in the UK are deported to Rwanda. And then from there, Rwanda was to figure out a way to kick them out of Rwanda and send them back to their country of origin. And that is the argument that was in the High Court in the UK, presented by the Human Rights Watch organization that took the case to court. So this is what they said. There are substantial grounds for believing that asylum seekers would face a real risk of ill treatment by reason of refoulement. Refoulement is like being taken back to where you came from, to their country of origin if they were removed to Rwanda. That is part of the judgment that was also read again on Wednesday by the Supreme Court in the UK. So what happens, assuming you come from Sudan or you come from Somalia, or let's use a recent case, you ran away from Uganda because the Museveni regime was hunting you down for supporting the young opponent, Bobby Wine. I know so many cases, young people were being hunted down by the son of the dictator in Uganda, Museveni's son, because they are supporting Bobby Wine. A lot of them were taken to some detention. Some of them have disappeared. No one knows where they are. So, assuming you are one of those young men who was being hunted because you were seen wearing a red beret and a red T-shirt, and you run you run across Kenya, and then from Kenya you go through Sudan, you pay some smugglers, you go through Tunisia, and then you find your way to the UK. So UK takes you back to Rwanda. Rwanda now finds a way to kick you back to Uganda. Then you're caught by the same people you're running away from. So that is the risk we are talking about here. Or a better case is you run away from Rwanda. Rwanda is a very serious, oppressive government. We know, we've talked to people who have left Rwanda, they tell us stories. You run away from Paul Kagame, you go to Tanzania or Kenya, then you find your way to the UK. Then the UK decides to put you on a plane and send you back to Rwanda. And once you get there, Rwanda discovers that you are the dissident they were looking for. And they, of course, cook up some weird cases on you, calling you a terrorist. So that is the situation we are talking about here. And the deal was supposed to earn Rwanda $174 million every year. And an extra, according to some articles, $200,000 per every asylum seeker or refugee sent to Rwanda. And I think that money means part of the airfare and the people who will work to ensure that program goes through. So it was an estimation, but it's a lot of money. Put together, we're talking about, even if these 24,000 refugees are part of the first group, we're talking about $6 billion. $210,000 multiplied by 24. And that's around 5, right? 5 billion. 5 billion is more than Rwandan budget every year. So it's a lot of money that Rwanda was going to make from this deal. And the reason why they are doing this, the UK is doing this, is because there are elections coming up. And the two dominant party, the Labour Party and the Conservatives, which are the ruling ones, the Tories, are using the migrant situation to rally voters, to get votes. And it makes someone wonder, why are the British people so much concerned with migrants, asylum seekers, when the reasons that they are running away from their countries are problems that were created by the British? And so it doesn't matter anyway. So the voters or the British people want the party, any party that will promise that it will deal with this migrant situation. And that's why they have to figure out how they are going to send these people to Rwanda so that they can campaign using that. And that's why this article says that the top court says a plan to send migrants to Rwanda is illegal. The government still wants to do it. So if you read the article, you find that the government wants to do another move by doing a treaty. So they want to make a treaty, and this treaty, I don't know how it's different from the deal. This treaty will allow them to send these African migrants back to Rwanda without violating the law. So, according to the Prime Minister, Sunak said the government would seal a legally binding treaty with Rwanda that would address the court's concerns and would then pass a law declaring Rwanda a safe country. Okay, let's stop there for a while. The court says Rwanda is not a safe country. And the reason why the court said that is because evidence was presented to the court to prove that Rwanda was not a safe country. So how is UK going to make Rwanda a safe country? Are they going to remove Paul Kagame because he's one of the greatest threats in Rwanda and his government? How are they going to do it to make it safe? It's not a safe country because it has an oppressive regime. So how are you going to make a deal that makes it safe? So that is the issue here. And that is the story that is happening. Now, this young man here, 26 years old, he left Sudan. And as you can see, a lot of people from Sudan, from Somalia are part of this group. They are the target of this deal. And some of them have been in the UK. Some of them have been there for 10 years. 10 years. And they've been applying for asylum. And every time they do so, it has been rejected for whatever reasons they are given. And now these are the people that are supposed to be taken to Rwanda, and then Rwanda is supposed to refile them and send them back to either Sudan or Somalia or Eritrea. Some people ran away from Eritrea, oppressive government of Isaias, and now you're taken back to Eritrea. So that's the situation right now. And Rwanda wasn't even the first country that the UK considered. They had tried to approach Kenya and Ghana. These two countries flatly refused. Ghana, Kenya said, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want those people here. So then they approached Rwanda, and because of the money, Rwanda accepted.